I spent 10 hours reading every peptide study from 2025, FDA ban announcements, and biohacker forums so you don't have to learn the hard way that half the peptides in your stack are either illegal, backed by zero human trials, or legitimately just expensive rat food. The FDA banned half the peptides in your biohacker's shopping cart. Your gym bro is injecting something he can't pronounce. And I just watched a 19-year-old explain why collagen peptides fixed his life. So yeah, we're ranking every peptide that matters in 2025 F to S tier, no cope allowed. Let's start at the bottom. F tier is reserved for the rat study fantasies. The peptides that sound incredible on paper, look amazing in a Reddit mega thread, and have exactly zero evidence they work in humans. BPC 157, TB 500, the so-called healing peptides. You've seen the claims: tendon repair, gut healing, inflammation gone overnight, all backed by rodent studies, zero human evidence. These compounds are sold as research chemicals, not drugs. Some are banned by the World Anti-Doping Agency, and yet people are injecting them into their stomachs because a forum post from 2019 said it worked. Eric Topol wrote an entire piece in 2025 breaking down how the peptide craze is built on hype with no randomized human trial evidence for the benefits people actually want. You're not a lab rat. Stop paying to become one. Then there's the cognitive peptides: Cmax, Selank, Pinolon. Supposedly they boost focus, memory, dopamine, neuroprotection, the biohacker dream, except they're not FDA approved for human use. The studies are mostly in rodents, and the human data that exists is minimal at best. I spent an hour Googling Pinolon dosing protocols before realizing I was optimizing my IQ based on a study done on 12 mice in Siberia. And if something goes wrong, there's no safety data, no dosing guidelines. You're guinea pigging yourself. That's F tier. You're paying $200 a month to feel like a lab rat without the lab. D tier is where we put the peptides the FDA said no to, but Reddit said yes. Growth hormone releasing peptides: CJC, Ponsoy 95, Ipamorelin. These were the golden children a few years ago. Muscle growth, fat loss, better sleep, recovery, skin that glows, the looks maxing holy grail, and the community believed it. But in 2023, the FDA banned compounding for CJC 1295. And the evidence? Still no large-scale human trials. You can still find these peptides if you know where to look. Gray market sources, sketchy websites, but the risk-reward ratio collapsed the moment the FDA stepped in. It used to be a maybe. Now it's banned, unproven, and one custom seizure away from a very awkward conversation. That's D tier. C tier is for the edge cases. The peptides that work, but probably not for you. Collagen peptides for appetite control, for example. There's a 2025 study in the British Journal of Nutrition showing that collagen supplementation reduced post-exercise energy intake in females. It boosted insulin and GLP-1. But it didn't change satiety or appetite ratings. So unless you're female, cutting, and specifically need post-workout appetite suppression, this finding doesn't apply. It's real. It's just not relevant to most people. Same goes for peptides like thymosin alpha-1 for immune support. Real mechanisms, real benefits, but not looks maxing relevant. C tier is where science meets specificity. It works, but you probably don't need it. Now we get to B tier, the boring one that actually works. Collagen peptides, not the appetite control version, just regular collagen supplementation, 10 to 20 grams a day for 6 to 9 months. And the results? Improved bone mineral density in the spine and femoral neck, better muscle function, improved daily living activities. The effects are stronger in females at higher doses and when combined with vitamin D and calcium. This isn't coming from one study. It's a meta-analysis of randomized controlled trials published in 2025. It's not dramatic, it's not injectable, it's not a biohacker flex. It's just a boring supplement that does what it says. I've been taking collagen for 3 months, and my bones are probably 2% denser, which is the least exciting thing I've ever tracked in a spreadsheet. But it's real. That's B tier. High ROI, low hype, actually backed by science, but it won't change your life overnight. A tier is where things get interesting. GLP-1 agonists, semaglutide, tirzepatide, Ozempic, Mounjaro. These aren't peptides in the traditional biohacker sense, but they dominate the fat loss conversation in 2025, and for good reason. Tirzepatide outperforms semaglutide by 4 to 12 pounds in studies. Both are FDA approved, both are accessible via telehealth, and both have massive real-world adoption. This is the cheat code for body recomp. You take a weekly injection and your appetite drops. The fat comes off. It's not magic, but it's close. The downsides? Cost. Side effects like nausea, muscle loss if you're not lifting, and the psychological shift of outsourcing discipline to a prescription. But if your goal is rapid proven fat loss, this is the highest ROI intervention available. That's A tier. Which brings us to S tier. And here's the thing. S tier is empty. There is no peptide that solves everything. No compound that turns you into a different person. Collagen peptides work for bone, skin, and joints. GLP-1 agonists work for fat loss. But neither replaces lifting, neither replaces sleep, neither replaces fixing your diet. The peptide rabbit hole is a test. Can you distinguish high ROI reality from expensive cope? Can you tell peer-reviewed data from a forum success story? Looks maxing is a system, not a supplement stack. And the people who win are the ones who understand sequencing. Basics first, optimization second, peptides last. I just ranked peptides for 1,800 words, and the conclusion is that most of you should just take collagen and go outside. But I'm not going to pretend I didn't enjoy the research. Anyway, I'm going to go remind myself what sunlight feels like. You coming?